Everyone, welcome to Product Office Hours on this lovely 1st of October. My name is Eben Marks. I'm going to be presenting today, and I've also got my colleague Marbeth Wycliffe, who is going to be working on the Q&A. So I'll be talking. If you've got any questions, put them into the Q&A box and Marbeth can respond. But first, I'll just take you through a few things about the Product Office Hours and also what's coming up with this ongoing series. So Product Office Hours, something we've started doing with the concept being just like in a college or university, the professors have product office hours where you can drop in and kind of ask them questions and get help with things. So the idea is to help you all by increasing your awareness of what features we're putting out, how you can use them, well to achieve things you want to achieve, and also to kind of level us up by getting more connection between the product team here at ConnectWise directly with you, our partners and users, so that we can get your feedback more quickly and more often and use that to improve what we're making. So it's every Wednesday. It's always the same time, 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. US Eastern Time. It says 2 demo sessions here. This actually varies a bit week to week, but it's always a demo or demos and a Q&A. So Q&A can be 50 minutes or just ongoing throughout the session. So just some housekeeping then before we start. Recording, we are recording and you will get an email automatically in about, from 24 to 48 hours after the session so that you can access that recording if you want to play things back. We also put these onto YouTube, and I will show you a QR code in a moment, which you can follow to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Calendar, we've got this in the ConnectWise University calendar. So if you want to easily refer to it, add it to your calendar, you can do so there. Technical, if you experience technical issues, let us know in the Q&A and we'll help you troubleshoot. I'm also going to mention a few kind of common issues before we start. And please do use the Q&A feature for questions. We'll either address them live, or if we don't get to them kind of during the session, we will kind of stay on and keep answering questions until they're done afterwards. Or if it's a more complicated thing, we will let you know that we're going to take it away and get back to you. So let's just go over the troubleshooting first. So for anyone watching, this tends to be best if you use the GoToWebinar app. It works best in the Chrome and Edge browsers. If you're having trouble, try reloading, reload the tab and possibly even restart your browser. You can also try using the browser cache or incognito mode. And make sure that permissions are granted for screen recording, camera and mic. That's probably not supported for you actually because you're presenting. And also switching devices or networks if issues persist. Of course, there are a lot of a lot of different setups out there. It doesn't always work first time for everyone. I've already had to restart GoToWebinar myself to get it working. And I mentioned that we have a YouTube channel where we upload these sessions along with many other videos that show what we do, explain what we've got coming up, recap our conferences like IT Nation Connects and so on. So if you want to subscribe, you can take a moment to scan that QR code with your phone and go and subscribe there. And you can also, like I say, take a look at what else other kind of playlists and videos are on our channel. And coming up, so after today, we've got PSA, recent updates to PSA Powered by Asio ticketing. We have got RMM talking about new best practices. We are then taking a week off, October 22nd, and then coming back on the 29th with RMM again, with scripting best practices. And you'll see there's the registration links there, down on the side. And like I say, this is also in the ConnectWise University calendar. You can sign up to the next upcoming one with this QR code as well, if you prefer to do that. So I'll leave this on screen for a few seconds. Okay, now let's talk about the main topic today, product billing lifecycle in PSA powered by Asio. So when I was asked if I wanted to contribute one of these talks, this was my first idea um, of what to do. We've been doing a lot of work on bringing over functionality around billing, products, invoicing, and so on that you know from classic PSA and putting into Asio. So specifically, I work in the PSA product team, and my focus is on, as I say, billing, finance, invoicing. And I thought, well, the best place to start, do my first one of these sessions, is just to try and do or to do a bit of a walkthrough and basically show you all of the functionality that we've now got in PSA powered by Asio and effectively walk through the life cycle of a product. So you may have come and looked at ASO before, you may have been on calls with us, you may have seen bits of this, you may have seen other places where there are some gaps. And what I'm hoping to show you today is this kind of core functionality, what we've got, and what you can start using in Asio. So we'll be looking at creating sales orders, choosing products from your catalog, picking and shipping products, and invoicing your sale. And I'm hoping even to have time to go a little bit beyond invoicing and taking a look at the accounting interface as well. There is still work to be done. So I'll point, you might see a few places where you may notice there are, for example, items that can't quite be clicked on and like jumped over too easily. That's something we're working on right now, and that will be released soon within this quarter. We're also doing some work around time and expenses and around enabling progress bills for fixed fee projects. We can come back to that upcoming release at the end. So I am just going to switch over to my demo now. Okay, so now here you can see on my screen share, here's classic PSA that you will all be very familiar with. And what we're going to be looking at instead is, of course, PSA powered by Asio. And let me just give you the fullest screen. There we go. Yeah, so as I say, I want to walk through, we could kind of call it a typical story of a product. And the place that is going to start is with a sales order. So if we go here in this left-hand menu, so in Asio, if you've used it at all, you'll know this left-hand menu is the first place to go for all the main navigation needs. And you can see here a list of existing sales orders. I'm going to create a new one instead. So with this blue button on the top right, create sales order, you can see that we've now got our sales order template at this point empty, ready to go. So the first thing I'm going to do is to choose a company, and I'll take the first one on the list, American Flag Bank, and you'll see it's now filling out for you all of the default values for this. So, sites, contacts, and so on. These can be updated if you need to, if you do have multiple sites or contacts for this company, you can do that. But we can just leave things as they are by default and click create. And you'll see I've got that green success message in the top right there. And we have now got appearing this quick access pod. And you'll see here we can go ahead and jump into other items. Of course, this is brand new. We don't have anything connected yet. So what I'm going to do is click into products. And this is where we can start adding a products or products. So you'll notice if you're new to Asio, something to know is just that we try and make the experience and layout very sort of predictable. So you'll keep on seeing the same sort of layout with, lists appearing in the middle, details pages having these different pods for the different areas, and then the main action buttons being these big blue ones in the top right. So I'm going to add a product. And you'll see we've got this small dialog that opens. So adding products here. I can search, I can scroll. I'm going to sell these people a monitor. And I'm also going to put in a service product, so one that doesn't have to be physically delivered to them. So internet services is a kind of a placeholder for that. And then when I click next, you see, of course, we need to add quantities before we can continue. So that's why they're highlighted there in red. If you decided you didn't want one of these things, you can easily take it off without starting again and losing the other ones you chose. And I'm going to add one each. And now our products list has got those two things we added. So the internet service, which has no quantities. As I say, it's just a service. And then the monitor, it's showing us quantity on hand, so how many we've got ready to, that we can ship to our customers, and how many are kind of included in the sale, which is one. And of course, so far they haven't been shipped, picked, or anything else. They're still sitting in their usual place in our warehouse. Now, if we want to go back to the sales order itself, we can easily do that. So we have these breadcrumbs on the top left. And if for any reason we wanted to change any of this, we could do that and use the save button. If we wanted to go back to the products, again, we can easily do that with quick access. So I'm going to pick the monitor. I'm going to select the monitor rather. And you can see once I select it, this action menu opens up here, or becomes available with all of these different actions in it. And it will be the same if we select another item, and then it goes away if we deselect them. So let's go back to the sales order. Now, since we've created that, since we've added those products, some of these fields have been automatically updated. So the subtotal, obviously based on the sale price of these items, the sales tax, because we've got taxes already set up in here, has been added, and so has the total. And that means that we can now create an invoice. And this is a part that I really like about the Asio experience. We've got the create an invoice appearing right here in the top right, and we can go ahead and click that, go through this small bit of dialogue. And then we quickly jump over to our brand new invoice, and we're ready to start working on that. So the invoice then will automatically pull through information about this customer. So as you can see here, here's our American Flag Bank, the reference back to the sale that we just made. And things like the billing, the details of the calculations. If for some reason you need to make an update and change the tax state or the currency, you could do that here. And you can add credits and payments. And of course, if you want to come back and check the details of those products, again, as always, quick access exists here in the top right, and we can click through to the products. And here we can see the details again in this row. We can even click through to the product details. So this is one of the main things I wanted to show. As I was saying, we've been working hard to bring a lot of different items, a lot of different functionality from classic PSA into Asio, join them together, bring them into this updated UI and updated experience. We're really kind of filling out these long, I'd say, chains of user actions so that you can come in and do like real tasks that you do every day and actually do them in Asio now. So our invoice then, let's go ahead, mark it approved. And you'll notice here we've got delivery by email, and ticked is add invoice to the batch email list. Now I could take that off, but I want to use that. I want to have it in the batch invoice list. So where is the batch invoice emailing list? Well, let's go back to that main left-hand menu, click on finance, and then under invoices, we've got invoice batch emailing. And you'll see here we've got many, many different ones. We're obviously a bit behind on sending these out, but I'm going to find just the one from today. So if I go to the date column and click in the top there, you'll see we've got some easy select filters here, and I'm going to go to today. And there's our invoice 1128 for American Flag Bank. Now I can click on that and send it. Probably on a more normal day with batch emailing, you would be emailing a batch. So, you'd be kind of once a day or once a week coming in here and sending several. I'm just going to do this one. So I select it. If for whatever reason I want to remove it from this emailing list, maybe send it another way, I can do that. But I'm going to click send. Taking a little bit of time today. There we go. So now it's gone and it's removed from this list. Now you might be asking yourself, well, why did we already invoice these people? We never shipped it to them. That's no problem. I can go back to the invoice and do that, or I can also go through the procurement options here. There's also under finance and down to product pick and ship. And here I can see a list of anything that should have been shipped. So there's our Dell computer monitor for American Flag Bank. I can select it in here, go to the actions and ship. And I could have also done this at the sales order step. I can do it at the invoicing step. Obviously, it just depends on the way you like to do things in your company. But as you can see, that's updated already and gone. And now it's marked shipped. Then, so we create our sales order. We chose the items and the services that were going to this customer. We now have shipped it to the customer. We've created our invoice. We've sent our invoice to them. So there's one last main part of this story, and that is the accounting. So if we go down to accounting interface, that's also under finance. You'll see here we've got the batch creation screen. This is very similar to what was in classic PSA. What we've got here right now at the time being in Asio is the ability to create and export batches. So that's what I'm going to do. So we've got include invoices already. Let's go and just check under unposted invoices. And you see we've got a lot of things that we've created here. I'm, again, just going to select only one for the purposes of this demo. So there's our invoice for the bank. Go back to the interface. And I can check my GL error report. So as you can see here in my demo company, we've actually got a lot of invoices out of balance, a lot of things to catch up on. But for the time being, I'm not going to worry about that. And I am just going to create my new batch and export it. And there you go, we've got our success message, and in my download, I've got my file. So that is my demonstration of taking you through the product's lifecycle from sales order, picking, invoicing, sending the invoice, and finally going to the accounting interface. How are we doing on the questions? Thank you, Douglas. So yeah, Marbeth is working through the questions now. So Ed, you asked about Asio. Does it apply to on-prem also? So what I've been showing today is functionality that actually already exists in classic PSA or on-premise manage, as you might know it. So, picking, shipping, creating invoices, sending them, making exports for your accounting. That is all stuff that exists in classic PSA. However, it's, the experience, the way that these screens are organized, the way that the actions kind of like tie together, that is what we have been rebuilding for Asio, so that we can provide it in like a much more modern and streamlined way. So the functionality is, at this point, we are bringing over what already exists. The experience is new. The longer roadmap for Asio is to, of course, keep innovating and bringing in new features and enhancements that people are looking for. Quotes shows on the sales tab, and I do not have that. Do I need to configure something? Might be some kind of permissions or visibility issue. We can look into that and help you with that. I'm just going to make a copy of take down your email address, and then we can look into it. Okay, and I mentioned at the beginning about the roadmap. So just to come back to this then, sorry, I'm just zooming in. I've only just seen a comment about some people not being able to see enough of my resolution. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, so upcoming, we are still working, we are currently working rather, and making good progress on just adding more links. So for example, let's say you're in invoicing, you see an invoice has a ticket attached. Right now in Asio, you can't jump directly to that ticket. You can over in Classic PSA. So we're just bringing over that kind of functionality, typical sort of functionality for jumping from one item to another and then still being able to navigate back. Yeah, we're also doing work on time and expense screens, so to be able to bring those together into this invoicing. And there is one type of bill we're not currently doing in Asio, That's progress bills. So if you've got a fixed fee project and you want to, bill a part of it while you're doing the project, we are adding that into Asio. That should be later in this quarter. And I didn't mention earlier, but please do make use of all of our resources, our virtual community, for example. And if you come over to university.connectwise.com, this is where you'll come to our university, obviously. But it's not just the university, it's the documentation lives here, consulting, community, which is where you can access the virtual community I mentioned. I do encourage all of you to make use of this, come and check out the documentation for any questions you have, or whenever you're in any kind of ConnectWise app, click whenever you see a question mark to come through to it. Make use of our learning plans. And yeah, the one I really want to mention again, ConnectWise Virtual Community, that's a great place to go and to ask questions that we can see, give feedback that we can see, but also there's a lot of partners and ConnectWise users out there who are real experts and who can also provide some good answers, especially on some more specific items or like customized ways of working with it. All right, we've only got a couple of minutes, so I just want to plug again the YouTube channel. So do go there. That's where the recording of this session and recordings of previous sessions are uploaded, along with all sorts of explainer videos, demo videos, and event recaps. And the next one of these sessions then is going to be on recent releases, also Asio, also PSA powered by Asio, but in this case on Asio ticketing. And you can sign up with that QR code there. And thank you to Marbeth, who is powering through answering your questions. Okay, well, we will be wrapping up in a minute. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining today. Thanks for all your great questions. And yeah, please do make it to the next one and keep checking out. And as I said right at the beginning, we really do want your feedback. We are working, I think we are making progress in terms of responding more and better and getting things fixed, getting things explained, taking it on board. So yes, thank you all for engaging with us. Okay, thanks everyone. And as I said at the beginning, email will be automatically sent out with a link to this recording in about 24 to 48 hours, so by the end of the week, and then it will be uploaded to YouTube. Have a great day.